Okay, let me come in. Let me make it even clearer for you now. Hello. Let me just come in again and make it clearer to you. We just ran a report now that said that over 400 billion naira went into government agencies and government officials as bribe money. Can we start from there?
Where did you get that from, please?
We ran that report just a moment ago, or would you like us to repeat it for you?
From the National Bureau of Statistics.
Yes, please tell me where you got the authority and the report.
That report is from the National Bureau of Statistics, and we did run that report just a while ago that suggests that over 400 billion naira went into government officials as bribe money, and then you say that you don't have any inkling of what the corruption perception is, then that is an anomaly and a default from your side.
Well, I don't think so. You know, what I would say here is that looking at the totality of the corruption index in Nigeria and the recent happenings, you would know that all the loopholes where people siphon monies in Nigeria have been sealed. So it is quite surprising. I'm not saying that
if it has been sealed, then why do we have over 400 billion naira going into the hands of government officials as bribe money? And Mr. Anene also said it here, right there where you are, and has confirmed this, that there is more corruption going on in this government, and you're not alluding to that fact.
Well,
why?
That is quite speculative. That is quite speculative. If I may ask, I'm not supposed to throw back questions at you, but if I may ask, could you tell me exactly one corrupt case that you have that has been proven against an official of the present government?
If you're not ready to answer these questions, let me ask Mr. Anene. Mr. Anene, let me throw this question to you now. You did mention about how well corruption has thrived in this government. Could you expatiate to Mr. Ifere that, yes, those agencies formed by the government are practically not able or don't have that capacity to fight this corruption which they profess?
You see, my guest, my colleague here is living in denial. You see, a report from Federal Bureau of Statistics. It's a federal government agency. Why would he deny their report or knowledge of the report? The opinion as punctuated here is not my personal opinion. The data is out there for you to pick. Now, the First Lady said over 3 billion was allocated to State House Clinic, and not even Panadol or Felsic is there. So why are we talking about fight against corruption? How would you convict somebody when the government is not willing and ready to prosecute their own? You're talking about who has been convicted. Why would you convict somebody without trial? What they do is media trial, especially if it affects the political opponent. Now, he said that I never scored the government. I used his own score, 60%. And I said, I asked, what happened to the 60, to that 40% when you have all these bodies assisting the government as far as fight against corruption is concerned? And about his committee that he's defending, I will encourage him to read section 174, subsection 2. He's not an officer in Ministry of Justice. He said he shall exercise this power vested on him via subsection 1, either by him or officers in his department. He's not an officer in Federal Ministry of Justice.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Ferre, let me come in here. Mr. Ferre, Mr. Ferre, he has said that you are living in denial by not accepting that that level of corruption is happening in this country. How do you respond to that?
Yes, the truth about it is that I am not somebody who bases my conclusions purely on speculative analysis of situation reports. I like to be very factual in all I do. And by my training, if I don't have the facts, I do not accept it. And I think it's commonplace in Nigeria to go to the media and go anywhere and speculate and have sensational stories being carried. And it is so funny. It's only a blind man in Nigeria who will say that he cannot see that in this country, seemingly, there has been a reduction in incidents of corruption. Only a blind man. We live ostentatious life before now in Nigeria. We flaunted our wealth. We stole. We did anything in office. both in private and in public offices. This has declined tremendously. And when I did score the government 60%, I could say where the government is looking at. I could see how hard the government is working. Remember, we are coming from a society where most of the people who are put in offices live completely and had lived and were born in corruption. It's not something you can get up overnight and change it. We have a lot of slogans that have come to stay with us. It is commonplace to hear in Nigeria people say, where man they walk, now there they chop.
Mr. Ferry, permit me to just start coming here again and just bring you home, because you did say that people are brandishing, can go to media and just spread out anything and any figures. But let's recall that report back to you about the figures of corruption in this country.
The Bureau of Statistics have rattled the country with its new National Corruption Survey that shows the sum of 402 billion naira as estimated total bribe monies paid to Nigerian public officials in a year. The reports resulting from a survey conducted between June 2015 and June 2016 provides comprehensive details of the reach of bribery, how bribery works, who takes bribes, who pays bribes, and how Nigerians respond to bribery.
Now, does that clear your mind on whether or not that corruption perception, as you said, that you don't have any idea about, does that clear your mind that it is actually happening and it is high?
In all situations of this, there must be a comparator. All we have there is for a period of time between May and June. There's no comparator. There's no period for which it is being compared to. And until that is done, what they said is that between this period and this period, so and so quantum of corruption was recorded. Okay. Where is the comparator?
Okay, Mr. Ferry,
So if you do this, it's a very incomplete analysis.
Okay, since you're talking about comparisons, Mr. Ferry, if I may
have to compare it to the past times.
Okay.
And tell me how much was recorded as corrupt monies